somebody's walking away with a pretty good,
Yeah.
depending on the lot itself.
Maybe it's in the, like I told you, maybe it's in the dry creek or a creek below it, and we don't know where it is, that's why I was determined to give us some information where it is, and that's why the property, nobody wants to buy it. Because people, I mean, people out there, when they go and bid, they're smart. They do their studies, because they get a copy of that, and they go out and look at the property.
Yeah, usually the bids are a whole lot less, as Commissioner Gomez was saying, it's a matter of how long it's been sitting there. If it's been sitting there long enough, then you are getting something, and it's on the tax
Right.
rolls again, and then you can start to collect.
Yeah.
But the key is the time.
Because I think, if we look way back, there's a lot of properties out there that I don't think we're ever gonna get somebody to bid for, because some are landlocked, and you name it, it's all out there. And most of them, they're small acres. I mean, less than a quarter an acre, which you can really put nothing.
I'm looking, the first two,
But,
the first
yeah.
two have addresses, this, number 3 has no address, number 4 has no address. Number 5, they just have lot numbers and.
Yeah, lot numbers, yeah.
And then, that's the only two that have addresses for the first two.
I think by getting that information, will be a lot better
Okay.
one.
What information are we gonna, either who submitted the bid, location, and what else?
Timeframe.
What's
How
the
long
Time
they
frame,
bid
how
on.
long?
Time frame.
The time frame. How long it's been from the bidding process.
Okay,
And those three, I think we can do a study and make sure that the commissioners get a copy before we come to court and look at the property.
okay. So the action taken on this is y'all want to table?
Table it, yeah.
Okay, motion,
Make a motion.
Commissioner Gomez, second by Commissioner Rouse, all in favor? Any opposed? So this is tabled?
Judge?
Yes.
I think the cause number of these, if my memory is correct, the first digit is the year.
Okay, so
10, 10,
10, 10,
12.
we got 12, 13, 12,
I believe that
okay.
is what that is.
Well,
But
that's
it's
all
just,
we know.
it's just a belief, but I know they've got
I'll
it.
get-
Well, there's different,
Different
there's
one.
one,
I don't know what all the rest of the numbers mean.
Well, you're right,
this has got a different cause number on the agenda than is on the sheet
Yeah.
here, so I'm gonna say the cause number on the agenda is probably incorrect, because
Yes.
both of these are 10s and they're next door neighbors.
Yep.
So, okay. Okay, but we can still get that corrected before next week's report, that's no problem.
but also, if, for instance, if you walk down to the district clerk's office and gave them the 10040139
That's the case number.
CBW, that's the case number,
Yeah.
all this information would be in that file.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. It's been tabled until next commissioner's court to get some, one thing is to get who submitted the bid and the location and the timeframe.
Judge, after
Probably who
court.
got there.
May I have a copy of it? May I have?
For this?
Uh-huh, when we get through,
Okay.
and then I'll give it back to you. Yeah, just a
Okay.
copy.
Okay. Item number 18, Leanne Bochat, EMC, A, non-standard plat variances, 1, Carrizo Ridge, 9.32 acres, that was to be platted at Carrizo Ranch, Unit 2, Precinct 1, Drive, discuss and take action.
The developer decided that he was not going to plat Unit 2 as originally planned, so instead he was doing large acre lots, and a couple of them were smaller than the 10, more than 10 acre requirement, and so that was the reason for requesting the variance. All of the lots do have the required road frontage.
All the lot?
Yes, yes, all the lots have the required road frontage.
But it's not a county. Is it a county road already?
Yes.
In Carrizo?
That's in your precinct.
Yeah, because that was platted,
Yeah, it's platted, but some part of that area wasn't, it wasn't completely platted because the roads were never done. On
Right,
the
that would have
outside,
been unit two.
that's unit two, right?
And he's not platting it into a bunch of small lots like he originally planned. He's doing large lots, and if you look, you'll see where they have frontage onto the roads that are already county roads. The way he, is surveying them out. They have to have at least 40 foot of frontage onto
Okay, this
a
is,
public road, yeah.
this is where the county ends, right here, the county roads. And then there's a 40-foot easement that goes around it. That's. Carrizo John, this is a 128, right, over here. That's the entrance.
Yes.
And then it makes that curve and goes back, and it dead ends right there in that cul-de-sac. Where that last home is right here. And then this are the acres that he's selling in the back. So where is the road that goes to this property?
Right here, he's coming off of this road. He's that lot.
This two lots
And then
and
this
this
lot
one?
coming off of that.
Okay, I got you. All right. That's what I was trying to think, that he had a road already going all the way around, make the loop. So he took off those, 40
These haven't
feet.
got much road frontage, whereas
It's just the
Not
entrance,
acres, just-
right.
All they have to have,
it's 40 foot.
42
40 foot.
RMX is 40 foot.
Okay, well, just as long as we do it on the same page, because, he's got a loop that goes all the way around on the first, flag that he did. I want those people to come back and say, well, there was a road there and the county was supposed to maintain it. But we got that clear right there with that. That's all.
Okay.
Okay.
It did get a favorable.
It got a favorable recommendation from the committee, yes.
I'll make a.
Motion by Commissioner Gomez, second by Commissioner Fall, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay. Number one is, okay, number two, FM 539, 7478, Precinct 3, Johansson, discuss and take action.
Okay, the reason for the variance request on this one was the tracts were smaller than, 10 acres. There wasn't an exemption that he could claim. He does have the required road frontage, but TxDOT, there's an existing driveway on the parent tract that he is dividing up, and TxDOT is not going to allow another access. He owns all of this, and he's dividing it up this way. So this has the required road frontage, this has the required road frontage, but what he has to do, because of TxDOT, he's giving an easement to this individual or whoever's gonna purchase that property, because they have to use the exact same entrance that he's using. They have to enter their property through his property, because TxDOT is not allowing them a driveway off what's being conveyed to them. So he's given them an access easement along this whole strip here, because he doesn't know where they're gonna put their driveway, or where they're gonna enter the property. He doesn't know where they're gonna build their house yet. But, I mean, other than that, the way these two tracks are surveyed out, they meet our requirements.
That seems a waste to have to do that.
So,
TxDOT.
but it's something about culverts on either side, and then the site
They got a
distance,
culvert
and
coming
there's a
across 539,
creek or
so they won't let
something,
them
yeah.
extend this driveway. That was my question, why won't they let them at least extend the driveway? And they won't let them do it because there's a culvert going across 539,
They're gonna have decent access to their property.
and
he's gonna have to use the
same
same
driveway.
entrance.
And they said because of the lack of view, back this away, they won't allow them to put a driveway on this other end. That was TxDOT. They were at the meeting when we, viewed it.
Okay.
Yeah, and explained the reason.
It was favorable also.
Yes, this was also given a favorable.
I mean, that's what a lot of people need to realize, developers and everybody else, before they start any kind of groundbreaking, they need to meet with, especially on TxDOT right away, they need to meet with TxDOT to make sure they're gonna be allowed to have a driveway. Because this is a good example, they pulled up, you know, so that's really the first thing they need to do before they even come to us, to see if TxDOT will give them a driveway.
Well, we won't issue an address on a state highway until we know that TxDOT has given them the driveway or approved their access point.
Okay.
So everything was good?
Does Steve get a
Yes.
favorable?
It got a favorable
Okay,
recommendation.
motion by Commissioner Morales,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Wiley, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, 19, Edwin Baker, Health and Public Safety, discuss and approve Wilson County contract with Stockdale Volunteer Fire Department and ESD number 1 on Southern Springs coverage area. It should be Edwin Baker Fire Marshal. Yes, that's what it has to do with.
Yeah, this is the ongoing deal. There's been probably about 6 calls in the last month since the last time we talked about this in that area that either Stockdale or Laverne just had to respond to. ESD1 board president has made several calls to me asking where we are with this. The city of Stockdale has asked, but they haven't really been pushy about it. They just, where are we at on this? And I've explained to them what the judge and I and what I've been updating y'all on. And the judge and I met with them a month ago, probably more, about moving forward with some of this, and haven't been able to really get any type of response from them on where they're at or where they want to go. And I went and talked to the judge last week and said, ESD number 1's wanting to move forward on this. So I decided to put a contract together, bring it to you, Commissioner's Court, and if y'all approve it, we'll move forward. Pretty much it's the same contract. Well, no, it is the same contract with one exception. This is for the Southern Springs fire coverage area, and under the county provision, it says the county agrees to pay the sum of $10,000, which is half of what Southern Springs gets. Southern Springs normally gets $20,000. It's budgeted for $20,000, and this is for each one. To the ESD number 1 to be used solely for the purpose of providing fire response to an area, agreed upon area of what was the Southern Springs Volunteer Fire Department coverage area. And the agreement's gonna be between myself and the fire chief from Laverne.
So y'all get 10,000 and they get 10,000?
Yeah, and it's, but more or less we're splitting it kinda in the middle. It's not, we gotta do something to get it where dispatch, because at night when we're not listening to our radios are on alarm and they don't know to call us, one of us two. We may not even know a fire or an accident or whatever existed or happened over there.
So, how about the debt that they have?
Well, that's something that I noticed. I went by, I talked to the judge about the piece of property they have on Champions Boulevard. There is a for sale sign on it with a phone number, which is one of theirs. I'm not sure which one. But catches eye as a sign, and I went by there Saturday and it was there. And so I know they're making an attempt on it, and they do have some equipment for sale, to recoup some of their debt. Some of it is lease. It's under a lease deal, and then just give it back, in other words, not renew the lease. And so, and I put in a couple of calls to Mr. Abbott last week and never got a response from him. So.
It's time to go forward.
And,
So, Evan, was there money gonna be held back for the fire department? Remember we were talking about batteries, tires, and all that?
well, we're going to, this is what we're looking at right now, that one brush truck, the newer one, either ESD number 1 or the city of Stockdale is gonna look at getting that put in there now. Because I've talked to the Forest Service and they said, no, it was given to that area for coverage in that area. And then that way it'll be available to respond there. Right now, there's no, I know, I'm not gonna speak for either one of the entities, but I don't think there's a lot of support in having another station right now for either one of them. I don't know that's something I couldn't get them to agree to sooner or later, but it would only have that one truck. And as far as that goes, we could put it at your yard, and make it accessible to both of us.
We have a county truck.
It's at my
This is yours
station,
that you
yeah,
got now?
yeah.
Okay, good.
And so, you know, that's where we move, but the only difference in these contracts is what it says in there about covering the Sutherland Springs coverage area and splitting it.
So you're gonna get with the dispatcher or whatever, so they know exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna have to,
Have you got a map drawn out?
Jason and I drew a quasi map out, and the reason I say it's quasi, because I was drawing it with, he was on the phone with me. And so I need to get it to him and get him to see it. He's been working in Carrizo Springs and wherever else, and I haven't really had an opportunity to meet face to face with him. But both of us know that area extremely well, and, you know, we'll work out. The call volume for last year, I pulled up ours, and I was told by the Lavergne Fire that theirs was almost identical to ours in number of calls in that area. And we did 26 calls last year in that area. And that's not to say that both of us weren't some of these same calls, you know, depending on the structure fire or a real bad wreck or whatever.
Well, the key is to cut down whatever time restraint there might be because they don't
Right.
know the call.
Or that possible disconnect that, you know, of course, dispatch would take the beating over, which that really isn't their fault,
No.
you know.
How far south, I guess, on 539, come this way to Southern Springs?
Somewhere in the area of 305. You know, it's 307 and property lines, and then somewhere in the area of 305. That's where Floresville takes over, yeah.
304, 205.
Yeah, somewhere in there. That's drawing property lines, if I remember right, so it's, you know, it's gonna be between two county roads, is what it's gonna amount to. The discussion that Jason and I had, we don't like splitting them down roads, because that's kind of, you know, you got both departments running, depends on whether they're gonna take a right or take a left into the driveway. But the only real good solution is to use 539 as part of the split off, and then go a little bit north of town around C Road. That's generally where the cutoffs are gonna be. It's C Road, and then all the way down 539 till we go into Floresville's coverage area.
So y'all have, well, have you got the contract?
They're right here.
Okay.
And I need y'all to approve them so I can do two things, move forward with getting them signed. And the other thing is getting the county treasurer or the auditor, whoever cuts the checks to, I gotta turn the Sutherland Springs check in and get the checks for the other two agencies when they get their paperwork in.
Okay. Next question is still the map. Have y'all both
Yeah.
approved it? So that's what it's gonna be. So Jason has seen it?
Yeah, well, I mean, he knows, yes, he is aware of it.
Okay.
And we've discussed it several times, because at one time we were talking about putting it right there at the river, which, they got another station north on 539, and it's approximately 3 miles, 4 miles from Sutherland Springs, which is a good deal, that's great, but the problem is, they only have one firefighter that responds to that station, so it's not like it's gonna be a main response for him, and he works a lot out of town, so. Later on, when they get more firefighters, we may need to change it all the way down to the creek, you know, and give them that area for ISO reasons.
Is the county attorney looked it over, the contract?
Yeah, that's the standard that
It's a
was
standard
worked on. They made the
I showed her
changes.
the
I
change.
make sure that y'all are agreeable on
Yeah, the coverage area,
the
yeah.
coverage area.
I did brief, Stockdale City Council last week that, you know, that we were starting this process, and told them, you know, we'll see where it goes from there, but, there was a call there Friday night in Sutherland Springs. And, you know, it's just,
So the city of Sutherland Springs itself would be, have you got, now that you.
yeah, that'd be more or less.
Is it gonna be split down
Well,
539?
Yeah, down 539, more or less, let me tell you, if it's a structure fire, we're both going, it doesn't matter,
Okay.
you know, and maybe even more, you know, it depends on how many guys we got around at that time, but we're both going. Even when Sutherland Springs was in existence, the Stockdale, Lavergne, and Sutherland Springs were there, so, you know,
Okay.
we have water issues out in some of those areas, so it takes quite a bit to get the water in. If it's something small, that way, like landing a helicopter or working a wreck where there's not a lot needed to be done, you know, only one department has to respond.
Okay.
So what do we need, a motion to move forward?
Move forward with accepting these contracts, or to approve these contracts for me to take them to the entities, is what it is.
Motion by Commissioner Rice to approve the contracts, and second by Commissioner Wiley, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So we have got an agreement
Yes, and I'll,
now. Yeah, you'll get with the county auditor?
yeah, I need to get with the sheriff, and we'll get a letter to dispatch, or we'll get something to dispatch letting them know, call either or, until we can get the ESNs designated for that area. Because right now, what will that, 6 months to a year?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We can get it done.
That's another reason we wanted to get this thing moving forward, because the ESM part, because it has to go through whatever it goes through up in San Antonio or wherever, takes a long time.
Okay.
I need a copy of that, even though you only have signatures of them, just for me to have.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Item 20, Eva S. Martinez, County Clerk's minutes.
Yes, I handed those out, and Catherine has had a chance to review them, and so has